A very good morning, students. Today we will be going to discuss our Unit 2, that is Self Management Skills of Class 9th. Now we will start this unit as Importance of Self Management. Self Management. Basically, self management is managing yourself to achieve the predetermined tasks or goals that you have set for yourself. Now, self management means where we have to manage our actions, our planning by my own self. If we take an example, that if I have to go to school, I have to pre-manage my uniforms, books, my homeworks, everything by my own self, to manage everything, to manage my planning, controlling, organizing the things by my own self. That comes under self-management. Self-management depends upon three factors: initiative, organization, and accountability. What is initiative? Initiative means doing the right things without being told what to do. It means, if we take an example, at school, when every student in the class knows what is needed to be changed in kids' behavior. For example, let's suppose your teacher asks that what things should be changed in kids' behavior to improve the class effectiveness. Everyone knows at their own pace of space, but nobody takes the initiative to tell to the teacher that thing. So in that 30 kids, if some student wakes up, if some student gets up and says and takes the initiative and tells the principal ma'am or the teacher that, ma'am, we have to work on this node so that our class will become effective, that comes under initiative, where we are not supposed to tell by others that we have to do such. Now, next is organization skills. Organization skills is the ability to use your time, energy, and resources effectively to achieve the goal you have set by yourself. If we are organized by my own self, if I'm organized properly, at that point of time, as I told you, in self-management, I have to pack my bag, I have to keep my homework, I have to organize my uniform till my shoes by my own self when I have to go to school by tomorrow. Same organization skill saves my time, my energy, my resources effectively. If I am already know that I have to do such in such space of time, in such space of energy, so that my work will be more effective. Now, organization skill has some steps which are given below. Identifying and define specific goals. Okay, as in, where let's suppose I know my drawing is very well, but my dad wants me to be an engineer. At that point of time, I know I have the capability to be an artist rather to be an engineer, because my science and maths is not that strong as my drawing. So I can be an architect, I can be an artist. I have to represent my viewpoint in front of my father that Dad, this is my viewpoint. I'm good in such things, and I'm not that good in such things. to representing myself. It means at that point of time I have a specific goal, I know my strengths, I know my weaknesses, so that I can work properly on my positive points. At that point of somehow at that point when we are discussing, we don't know our strengths and weaknesses. If we know our strength and weaknesses, when we discuss in front of others, or when we having a conversation with family, they will understand us more by knowing our positive strength and weak points. Next is break down goal into smaller tasks. We have to break down our goals into smaller tasks to achieve that thing very positively. For that, adopting SMART strategy means we can focus our efforts more effectively. And what if I break SMART? What it is? Specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. Now, what is specific? Specific means instead of saying I will cover my syllabus in a time, I will say I will complete subject A by tomorrow. Rather saying that I will complete my syllabus in how much time, in how much time you will complete your syllabus, we don't know that. So when you don't know something and you are saying it is not that specific. But if you say that I will complete English, let's suppose if I complete subject English by tomorrow, it means you are specific, you are particular with something. Measurable, if I say I'll finish my book, if I'll finish my maths book by today, rather saying such, it is very better to say I will solve 20 maths problem in 2 hours. Achievable, I'll say I'll read this, I will learn this whole poem in 1 hour, or I can say for better, I'll start this poem 5 times now. Means breaking that goal into very smaller things so that it is more achievable. Now, what is realistic? I will devote 8 hours to my study after school every day. I know it is not that realistic. Rather, we can say I will study 3 or 4 hours regularly, which is that achievable. Now, what is time bound? A time bound target will be I complete this chapter. Let's see how much time it takes. By saying such, it is very much better to say I will finish this chapter by 8 p.m. It has time management also. You very well know that to make our work much more effective, we should be able to manage our time properly by our own self, to organize it properly, to get the best output from time. You have to manage your time by your own self. Managing time by our own self is much more effective than managing my time from others. Okay, if I manage my time by my own self, I know what what outcome I can give properly in that specific hour of time. Rather, somebody decides my timetable is not that effective. Now these parts are basically in the time planning. These planning, estimating time required for each task, prioritizing and schedule. Learn to say no. Learn to say no means is we have an habit of saying yes, I will do this, yes, I will do this, but at the end of the day, when we are not capable of doing such thing, we can't do. So it is better to say no by knowing yes if you can do or if you can't do it. Now, accountability. Basically, what is accountability? Accountability is where accountability is a vital component of self-management. Accountability and responsibility are interrelated to each other, but they don't mean the same thing. The difference between responsibility and accountability is that responsibility can be shared while accountability is personal. Responsibility, it's like responsibility of a task may be assigned to you by someone else. Now, again, if I explain this accountability, let's suppose my marks in English is not that good. I expected. So basically, we have the fear what my dad will say to me, what my mom will say to me. When we take accountability means when we have to answer ourselves, when I am answerable to my own self, like I don't hear what I have to answer to others, but I am more cared about how I will answer by my own self, how I have to answer to myself, that why I didn't get that marks which I was expecting from myself. That comes under accountability, where I am answerable to my own self for my failures, for my delays, for my incompletion. That is called accountability. Accountability develops the following characters, like avoid procrastination. Basically, procrastination is choosing a different, basically less important and enjoying task to avoid doing an unpleasant and more difficult task. Procrastination only results in loss of productivity and also in guilt and loss of self-confidence. We have to overcome procrastination. These are some points through which we can avoid procrastination. Next is adopting problem solving attitude. Basically, everybody has a problem. To focus on, I have a problem, I should focus more on solution rather on problems. Like, okay, I have one problem, now I have to focus what is the solution of this problem, so that I will overcome fast from this problem and I can move ahead towards my goal. Managing your own emotions means somehow in a situation we are distracted by our own emotions, like we don't want to. If I, let's suppose I have planned a goal, I have planned a task for me, like I have to finish this maths exercise in 4 hours, but I am not by my inside I'm not well or whatever, I'm feeling quite low, so that I don't want to study right now. But if I am accountable, if I am organized, if I am time managing person, so I will control my emotions at that point of time, like I have to work for 4 hours right now, so that it will help me, it will not disturb my schedule, it will not disturb my goals which I have made for myself. Also, it will not disturb my exams too. So at that point of time I have to manage my emotions also. These are some positive results of self-management, as makes you more organized, commands respect from others, enhances self-confidence, helps in attaining goals. These are some kind of positive results of self-management. Now next is building self-confidence. Self-confidence basically is what, when we have trust in our own self, when like at that point of time I make a decision, and after 2 hours of making that decision I feel like I am guilty, or I don't trust by my own self, like maybe I'm wrong, I have made a wrong judgment, it doesn't comes under self-confidence. Self-confidence means if I made a decision, I have to stand to my decision by my own self. Also, I should not feel guilty, or I should not feel wrong at that point. Basically, I should not make any wrong decision. I should believe in myself that whatever decision I am taking for the betterment of everyone, also for the betterment of myself also. Factors influence self-confidence. It is social factors, cultural factors, physical factors. In social factors, it is basically society plays an important role, as being we said social, where If I take an example, lack of love, attention, harsh physical and mental punishment, and excessive criticism on basically on child's mistake to take challenges. On the other hand, overprotective parent style also hampers a child confidence, shielding a child to prevent him from facing any pain and struggle. Basically, these are some social factors which are there to which are basically there which don't allow us to enhance our self confidence much more. To overcome such, we have to face challenges so that we should be that much confidence in ourselves. Now, cultural factors. Basically, culture influences a child development and behavior. For example, some culture value independence, individuality, self-esteem are as important aspect of personality. Child from cultures are outgoing, eagerly explore new situations, demonstrate have self-confidence. On the other hand, some cultures honor traditional values, relations, and obedience. Basically, it means to say that some cultures make us quite shy, and some makes us quite extrovert towards society. So both the factors, also that introvert as well as that extrovert, both these persons have to face social factors as well as cultural factors. Physical factors. Basically, physical factors like healthy physique, healthy mind, good appearance plays an important role in developing self-confidence. If we have these qualities in ourselves, our confidence basically boosts up. If we don't have that, some points which I just mentioned, we will not feel that much confidence. We'll feel bit low towards others. Now, various attitude of people. Attitude of people with low confidence, fear, value others' opinion, overcritical, poor time management. These are some attitude, people's attitude where with low confidence, where they have a fear of making decision, where they just can't respect their own decision, where they just can't they think that others are more important, they can make more important and good decisions for them also, so they don't take any decisions for their own self also, they want others to take their decisions also. They have negative outlook also, lack of initiative also. So now, attitude of self-confident people, view to the world, realistic view of self, trust own ideas and beliefs, deal with mistakes, focus on growth. This is basically self-confidence. If I believe in myself, I'll definitely succeed one day. But if I don't believe myself, definitely one day I'll fail. Because in lack of self, when I don't trust myself, I want somebody to hold my hand and take me to my success. But there is no one who will hold my hand and take me to the success. I have to make my own plans for my success. Nobody will going to make my plans for my success. So if I don't trust my own self, I'll definitely fail one day. So I have to build my self-confidence. Self-confidence can be learned, practiced and mastered just like any other skill. Once you master it, everything in your life will change for the better. This is basically when we have to build our self-confidence one day. It is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats. We have to face such one day if we want to get success in life. This is all. Thank you so much.